so much for clicking on my channel. As you can see, I'm in a very bare room. I have started packing for my move, and a lot of my decorations have come down, which makes this space pretty depressing. Nevertheless, I wanted to film a quick video. It's actually going to be pretty short today because this isn't really an exciting topic for very many people. A lot of people out there aren't really into reading. Unlike me, I really like reading. I have a lot of books. It's a problem. One of my most favorite topics that I like reading about is personal finance. It's actually not that boring. There's a lot of books out there that aren't just like old men who are really dry and not very exciting. Of course, there are a lot of those books and a lot of them are very useful and there's nothing wrong with them, and I'm a huge fan of Dave Ramsey, so no shade. I love his books and I love his philosophy, but I wanted to show you guys some classic books and some more, I guess, new age books written by women who have kind of a fresh take on personal finance. So yeah, let's get started. First of all, I just wanted to put a shout out there. I know that my channel talks a lot about cash envelope stuffing. This is a endorsed method of budgeting by Dave Ramsey himself. This is the book I got started with when I very first got into personal finance. I actually asked for it for graduation in 2017 when I first graduated college from my parents, and they gifted it to me. Since then, I don't even have my physical copy anymore because I've lent it out so many times and it got kind of destroyed, and then I gave it to my brother for his birthday for him to look over after he graduated college. So I have looked over it many times. I know at some points I even highlighted the book up just to remember some of the tips that he gives us. So that book is long gone, but it is now in better hands. The second kind of traditional, like old school book I want to talk about, I think it was actually written in like the 1980s, but regardless, it is The Millionaire Next Door. Now, any of you guys who have ever done any research on personal finance have probably heard of this book. It is very, very dry. However, there's a lot of very useful statistics and just like good general knowledge packed within this book. Basically, like 30 years ago, the original authors of these books did a huge study on America's millionaires, and they surveyed their habits, how they raised their kids, what they spent their money on, how they lived their life, did they inherit their money, so on and so forth. And I think it's really like a myth-busting book. I think a lot of us look at all of the millionaires and the people flashing their wealth all over Instagram and think that that's what all millionaires are like. Spoiler alert, it's not. This book really outlines, I think, the fact that most millionaires are self-made. They do not inherit their wealth. I just think it's a really interesting perspective, especially if you don't come from a family of wealth, and it really brings into perspective that you can change your path and that you are in control of your future. Shout out to the everyday millionaires out there. I know that's a slogan Chris Hogan uses a lot. So, next book. Okay, I changed my shirt because I'm actually going to be going to the gym soon. It's almost time to leave, so I'm going to finish filming this really quick. The second book I wanted to talk about is called The Financial Diet by Chelsea Fagan. She is a fellow YouTuber, and she talks a lot about finances and living a frugal lifestyle that doesn't cause you to give up your lifestyle or make tons and tons of sacrifices. I think that a lot of times personal finance people get caught up in like the nickels and dimes, which I think is important in some cases, but not in all. The great thing about this book is that Chelsea really breaks down like some really easy changes that can add up, but don't cause you again to sacrifice your lifestyle in order to save money. Like, for example, she talks a lot about how to accumulate like things in your kitchen that will prevent you from going out to eat more often, like having essential spices or essential, cooking utensils like pots and pans. Obviously, it costs money to buy those things, but once you have them, it really creates kind of a sustainable way to prevent yourself from going out to eat. Another little tip that she emphasizes in this book is accumulating clothes that you're going to want to wear for a long time, and not just grabbing like, those quick, easy, cheap, trendy items off the rack that you're probably only going to wear twice and then like throw away. So yeah, The Financial Diet, a really great read, especially for females if you're interested in just like how to get good with money and how to think sustainably while also, you know, being frugal and responsible. The last book I want to share with you guys actually kind of has a sister book that was just published. This is the Broke Millennial book by Erin Lowry. I think that's how you say her name. But this book changed my life. I know it sounds so silly, but the title caught my eye about a year and a half ago. This book breaks down like everything, guys. If you don't know how a credit score is calculated, or how to pay off your student loans, or even what like a high yield savings account is, I know those might sound like dumb questions to some, but these were questions that I had when I knew absolutely nothing. This book is amazing. She actually recommended Ally in this book when the annual savings percentage was like 1.8 at the time she published this. By the time I got to it, it was already at 2%. I feel so much better off after reading this. She just recently published a book that I bought called Broke Millennial Takes on Investing. This book is what caused me to be able to get started opening up a Roth IRA. I already have a 401k like I said before, but I've been interested in kind of the differences in having like an IRA, a Roth IRA, as opposed to just a 401k by itself. So again, a great manual on how to get started investing, especially if you don't have any other resources. It talks about investment apps, which I think is like so 21st century. I know like a few years ago I was at work and I had all these guys talking about Robinhood and day trading and penny stocks, and I was just like, whoosh, it went right over my head. I work with like all men and they love to talk about how they're investing and like what they're doing. I just felt like reading these books really like got me in the loop, and I finally like understood a lot of these terms. So guys, I know reading isn't everyone's cup of tea, but get yourself educated, get some books, go to your local library. I know there's tons of sources on the internet, but like I just feel like having some of these on hand is really useful to turn back and be like referencing anytime I have any sort of questions. So get caught up, get reading, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks.